Mr. Prentice joining us now in studio. Thanks so much for being here.
Nice to be here.
Really appreciate it. I know it would be easy to duck and cover right now as you've won with a large mandate. I believe it was around 77%.
Yes.
And it would be easy to shy away from the media, but you've been doing the rounds. You were on the radio yesterday. Great to have you on here now. As you are, the reality of you becoming the premier becomes more obvious. How is it sinking in? Are you feeling the weight of this party now on you?
Well, it's a little strange, firstly, because people start using this term premier designate, and I look around the room at who they're looking at or talking to. But I'm slowly getting accustomed to it. There's a lot of work to be done on a transition, and so I brought in a group of really excellent people, headed by Tim Hearn, who's here from Calgary, a team of 5 people called the transition team, and they've been doing just unbelievable work, getting everything set up so that when the government's sworn in, when I'm sworn in with the new cabinet, we'll hit the ground running and it'll be turnkey and set to go.
I feel like when listening to you and watching this process happen, I'm obviously not as politically savvy as you are, so you obviously have a game plan, but I feel like there's almost nothing you can do right now that won't get criticized. If you bring in people from outside the party to come on as new cabinet members, people are going to say, oh, you don't trust the team that you have. If you don't bring in people from outside the party, people are going to say, well, he's using the same people that were there that got us into this mess in the first place, and he's just a face. How do you strategically move your way in through this wild wilderness where the PC party has taken a big hit?
Well, to me, it's less about strategy. It's about what I promised people. And I campaigned over the course of the summer. I gave like 750 speeches across this province. And I promised people something very consistently every time I spoke, and that was that there would be a new government, it would be fiscally responsible, and it would restore the pride of Albertans in their government. And so that's exactly what we're going to do. I expect some criticism. I've had some already. I'll get some more. I'm prepared to shoulder that. But Albertans have been pretty clear with me that they want to see a new government. They want renewal. They want new energy. They want a government that is competent and reflects a strong new sense of ethics. And I'm going to make sure that Albertans get that.
I know you've watched some of the turbulent times, we'll call it, for the last little while, certainly under the former premier, going back to Alison Redford. Do you do your own facepalm at times, even when you see this electronic voting? Whether it's a scandal or not, I'm not suggesting by any means that the PIN numbers that happened over the weekend would have changed the outcome because it was such a huge margin. But you see once again that this party can't shake just quirks and different controversies. Does it make you, are you infuriated what's happening inside the party?
Well, I'll deal with the party. What we're talking about in terms of the voting process is pretty minor compared to the massive landslide that I received in terms of votes across the province. So just so everybody puts that in perspective, I think we all have lessons to learn about electronic voting, and I think people need to be careful about it. But there will be renewal in the party. There will be renewal in the party. The thing I'm probably proudest of, Scott, in my entire campaign is that we brought in like tons of young people, new, young, bright, talented people that are the future of Alberta and the future of our party. And they come from every walk of life. They're in every corner of Alberta. And I was still moved by it. And I've never seen volunteers work this hard, and they're the future of the party.
I know you're going to agree with this because you've heard it. You said you spoke for more than 700 times talking to different Albertans all across our province, that people are, I think, are fed up, tired of the planes, all the ongoing scandals, and people just, at the end of the day, want a trustworthy government that's going to be transparent and get this province rolling. When you look at some of the big issues like Keystone and Enbridge, are those priorities? Are they priority number one? Can we see the economy start to rock on and not worry so much about infighting in a party?
Well, for sure, the priority is exactly what I spoke about this summer. We'll get a new government in place, strong cabinet. We're going to be very focused on the economic agenda because we will not have prosperity indefinitely in this province unless we get global prices for our commodities, agriculture, energy, and forestry. And that means we have to access global markets. And there's a big job to be done to make sure we get these pipelines built in every direction. We also have to be fiscally responsible because that's a cornerstone of good government and prosperity. So people are going to see some very significant changes there. We're going to run surpluses in this province from now on. And we also have to really deal with the population growth and the infrastructure deficit that we've
And people will be expecting a big knockout punch probably from you when you're sworn in, so a lot of pressure there. What will be the number one thing you do after you're sworn in as premier?
We'll take it a step at a time, but people will see the swearing in take place next week, and They will then see 2 weeks of very considered action. And there'll be no doubt that Alberta is under new management, and there'll be no doubt that we are talking about a different future for this province.
Appreciate your time. Thanks so much for coming in.
Nice to be here.